Here's how Washington can pull a stunning upset over the first-ranked undefeated Ohio State Buckeyes, who are also the favorites to win the national title and win the Big Ten. Before I tell you how Washington can pull off this, what would be an epic upset for them and a huge win for Jed Fish and their program, please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, that you have hit the notification bell, not just for the channel, but also for the Washington and Ohio State football team playlists, that you have commented your thoughts down below, and watch the video all the way through, and also share it with any friends, family members of yours that are interested in the sport of college football. We want to grow our channel to be 100,000 subscribers and the biggest and best college football channel on this platform, and I believe that we can. So let me talk about how Washington can upset Ohio State. It's a tall task. Ryan Day doesn't lose these games because he's an elite coach. Ohio State has an elite roster. They have a wonderful coaching staff. They have it all. They are right now the number one program in football, the number one ranked team, and according to some power ratings, probably the ones that Vegas and the sports books are using, they're probably the number one power rated team or very close to that. Washington, meanwhile, is, a fringe top 25 team, maybe top 25 team, depending on where you look in the power ratings and the odds. What plays to their advantage here is that they are at home in a very hostile environment, unlike the game I'm watching right now on my TV in Florida State traveling to Virginia. They have a hostile environment. They have an awesome quarterback, a wonderful coach. There's a lot of things going Washington's way. And Florida State just fumbled again. They're probably going to lose this game, which is particularly hilarious. Side note, because their best player, Virginia's best player, Brady Wilson on offense, is out. Anyway, we're talking about Washington here. Washington, it would be very beneficial if the off-topic conversation I was just having about Florida State and Virginia very early here was occurring to Ohio State, where Ohio State comes in and they're clearly early on not playing their A game. That would be a huge benefit to Washington. But I want to assume that Ohio State's going to come in and want this win, want to make a statement, and be prepared. Day teams don't always impress, because no team always impresses unless you're like a 2010s Nick Saban team. But even when they don't impress, they usually win. So Washington is really going to have to go the extra mile here. I remember in 2023, sometimes in 2021, even last year against Nebraska, and that loss against Michigan, which was one of those rare losses to a team that's clearly inferior to Ohio State, they usually pull away and find ways to win, even if they're really struggling and not playing an A or even B level game against these type of teams and opponents. I think that for Washington, DeMond Williams is going to have to play at 90% of his potential at least. He's going to have one of the best games of his career, if not the best. And he's had a lot of good games. He has a very high ceiling. He can put that together, and that is a requirement. That's the most important thing, because he is that type of player who is an X factor. He could even be an alien. I'd say athletically he's very close to an alien. This game will be a huge test of that because he's playing Matt Patricia and his defense with Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, Jermaine Matthews, Caleb Downs, Cade McDonald. A lot of future NFL players there, a lot of good players. He is the key to all of this. He is top 10 in QBR right now. He has a passer rating around a 200, and Washington's offense is scoring over 50 points per game. Washington is not going to win this game with defense unless Ohio State really has a rough time and their offense is far worse than I think it is. And I don't see how, with the talent they have in offense, they're going to only score 20 here with what Washington's defense presents, which they can be good at stopping the run, but with Tacario Davis out and the film I've watched, they're not very good at stopping the pass, to put it kindly. Washington, though, if DeMond Williams plays to 100% or close to that, plays a really good game, and on top of that, the offensive line does a good job of protecting him and they don't give up too many pressures, and the noise maybe gets to Ohio State, helps Washington's defense get off the field a few times, then Washington can score and score consistently enough to maybe put Ohio State behind the 8 ball a bit and really, I think, test Hartline as a play caller, test Sayin and that offense's poise. It's a lot that has to go Washington's way. I think that there are some things outside of their control, such as Ohio State playing scared and the noise getting to them, that are sort of outside of their control. And Denzel Boston needs to beat whoever's on him. He has to. And Jonah Coleman either has to have an offensive line that steps up compared to its play in the first 3 games, or he needs to be a tackle-busting machine this Saturday for Washington to win. That's the upset path. Williams balls out. The offensive line has to play at a high level. They have to play well. And Ohio State needs to have some hiccups offensively on top of Washington's defense. Look, if you're Washington's defense, I think what you should do if Ohio State comes out and tries to run on you is, look, they're going to burn you over the top anyway. I don't think that even if you try to play to defend the pass, you're going to defend it that well. Make Ohio State throw the ball all the time, or when they are throwing it, they're behind the chains. So it's not 3rd and short or 2nd and short or 2nd and medium. It's always long down and distance if Ohio State decides to run it. Make Ohio State beat you and be perfect at what they are good at. And maybe that sounds counterintuitive, but I'm taking the standpoint that I don't think Washington is going to be able to stop the passing attack at all unless Ohio State messes up in some instances. And when you do something more, there is always that chance that, there's the increased probability that Sayin throws a pick or he throws a bad incomplete pass. He hasn't been asked to throw the football all that much. He hasn't. The Texas game was very conservative against Ohio and Grambling. They were never going to lose those games, so it's not like the pressure was on him. Put all the pressure on him. And I think the best way you can do that realistically is making sure you totally take Ohio State's rushing attack away if they come out and make that a focal point of the offense. If not, then what I just said is entirely useless. But making any offense play one-dimensional helps make them unbalanced, if that's even at all possible. And then offensively, the line play has to improve, and Williams has to continue looking amazing. It's a little bit too much for me. That's why I didn't call Washington to pull off the upset here. It's a little bit too much that all has to happen for the Huskies to win. That's why I think Ohio State wins by around 7 points. If they don't win by that much, they probably win by more. I have a hard time mentally seeing Washington win this game, but I do think they are one of the few teams on Ohio State's schedule that are capable of beating them, particularly due to the environment they present to Ohio State, hosting them across multiple time zones, and also the fact that they have a really good quarterback and great skill position players. So I think Ohio State's going to win, but I wanted to take the Washington perspective in this video. So those are reasons why Washington can pull off the upset, but a lot of them have to come true and have to come true early. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, and comment your thoughts down below. I'll see you all very soon, and stay safe.